Okay, we've been asked a lot about the auxiliary load. So I'll just do a little bit and show about it.
So on the inverter, you've got three inputs. You've got your grid, you've got your, I call it auxiliary, and they call it load. Depending on the model, they're all slightly different. If you imagine they're all connected to a single connection here, and they're via a relay. Okay. And this connects to the inverter, okay? So here is you've got your inverter, which is a bidirectional inverter, and then here is you've got your load connection, your auxiliary, and your grid connection. These relays here can operate in different ways depending on how it's programmed. But for now, we're just going to focus on the auxiliary connection. So we won't look at the other ones. We'll just look at the auxiliary connection for now and what we can use this for.
You can obviously access it by the cog icon at the corner. We go on to auxiliary load setting. The auxiliary load setting actually offers us lots of different options. One, obviously, we can use as a generator input, and that's what it was originally used for. And you can see very clearly here the point at which the generator will switch on and the point at which it will switch off. Normally we try to keep, if it's using as a generator, about 40%. If that's not on, then even if you start the generator up, it will not charge the batteries, it won't do anything. So this also controls the relay, and it controls the point at which it will accept power from the auxiliary. So it's very important that's where it'll accept power. So other benefits of it, if we go into auxiliary load here, and this is basically, we can call it smart load or auxiliary load, whatever. So as we're showing on this, when the battery is 95%, it will output, and this is the amount of power, which is 500 watts here. If we increase this, say, if we put this up, say, to 1 kilowatt, it draws the power from the battery. It doesn't draw it off the solar. Of course, the solar is charging the battery, but it actually draws it from the battery. But at this point here, so you can see here, so I can set it to 80%. Nice feature for this is if you're using, say, it gives you 3 outputs. So you can have your complete non-essentials, which are AC coupled. You can have sort of non-essentials, maybe your sockets and stuff, could go onto auxiliary load, and your absolute essentials will go onto your load connection. And therefore, if your battery becomes lower and lower, and in fact, I could actually set this very low. So I could set this to about, say, 50%. And so what will happen is here, this auxiliary load would operate up until the battery reaches 50%, and this will switch off, but then the other load will continue up until the battery shutdown voltage. And if I go onto the battery shutdown voltage, I'll go onto battery here, shut down here, and in fact the battery will actually shut down at 20%, so it's shut at 20%. So in between 50% and 20%, it will continue to work. So you could just have your lighting connected to it, for example. Here again, back onto auxiliary. The other obviously is for microinverter, which a few people have used for microinverter, and I can click on here to microinverter. You've got a choice on the microinverter. If you don't want to export, you've got 0 export. So this will then create the environment. So I can click on here for 0 export for microinverter, and this will now create the environment for a microinverter or for a grid inverter. Up to roughly absolute maximum is 50% of the inverter rating you can go. So if you've got an 8 kilowatt, the maximum you can go is, say, an additional 4 kilowatt, 3.5 to 4 kilowatt. Micro or grid inverter can be connected to there, and it will give you additional power, and this will give you an off-grid solution. So it will create the environment, or it can export. You can have a choice. You've also got another thing here, which is peak power shaving. So peak power shaving is you use the CT coil to measure the power, and if, for example, you've got a supply and your supply is limited to, say, 8 kilowatt, which is your supply line, or 10, and you want more power, or if you've got a 5 kilowatt generator and you need to run 10 kilowatt, you might put another 5 kilowatt inverter. And so this power is additional power. This will output when the power reaches the limit on here. So this is the limit. So once it reaches that, then the inverter will start to operate. Then you can put the inverter to boost your power. You can call it a power booster, whatever you want to call it, but that's basically what it's used for. So it's very useful. It's very useful for lots of locations where you've got limited main supply and you need a bit more current. You can put an inverter and a battery and it will give you that. So there's lots and lots of uses here. I'm trying sort of it is relatively simple to operate, and you've basically got a choice of four choices here. I'll try and explain a little bit more further on.